car's sick. Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm so fresh like the morning. Mouth wide open like the yawning.
Today is mine and Victoria's 9-year wedding anniversary. To show my appreciation for her somehow putting up with me, we're gonna go buy a new car. This is what we do. We just love cars so much. Really, really expensive hobby. How are you feeling, sweetie? Are you excited?
I'm excited.
So this QX, we bought this because our kids were almost 2 and 4. So, you know, they were still 1 and 3 whenever we got this. And we wanted some infotainment stuff. We were really unsure of where life was headed. And we had just started the company. So we wanted something that's like, you know, a big vehicle, a lot of space in the back. And it's been great to us. But It's been a long time since Victoria's had a fun car. And now that the girls are old enough, we have a 5 and 3-year-old.
It's wild.
So she hasn't had a fun car in a while. I think the last fun car you had technically was like your GLC, which was like kind of your AMG before that, like the C63.
Yeah, that was sick.
Aside from my truck, like we hadn't had a fun daily in a really long time.
Yeah.
And my truck's great. Like I love running over other cars on the road. It's really fun. Just to spoil it a bit, you guys know, and I want to clarify this before we get there, I have loved Porsche long before it was a cool thing online. If you're an OG, you know. I love Porsche. If I could fit my whole garage with just Porsches, I would do it. So anyways, we're gonna go grab her. A really fun, really cool, probably the fastest car I've owned in a long time for the street today.
Actually, will this be the fastest car I've owned?
For sure. It's gonna be faster than your Cayenne. All right, time for a long drive into Dallas, baby. Let's go. This car's been awesome. I love this thing. This is probably one of the best bang for your buck vehicles we've ever bought. And just like the executive package that we have is just, it's great, but it's a big truck. And I have an F-250 that makes really cool noises, big turbo, it's fast, and we don't need this anymore. So this is gonna sound silly. Not really that it's a huge deciding factor, but our main dailies are white. We own black tie detailing, and I don't know if you guys have thought about this before, but it is so hard to promote your own products and keep a white car clean, because guess what? They always look clean. So we had to get something that was just a crazy cool color. See if they can pull it out for us. You didn't even give it any beans. What are you doing?
Yeah, I think that's like half throttle.
I can tell. Hold on. One moment, gentlemen. Dude, I can sit low. All right, now I've made a reasonable seating position to where my knees don't hit the dashboard. Let's give this thing a proper rip. So this is the Macan S, and a couple of reasons we ended up settling for this one was we driven this one, we drove a newer one, and we drove the, you know, the base 4-cylinder turbo one and the GTS. So the GTS is like the top one. The turbo is actually now the bottom. The S is the middle. A GTS is just an S with a tune and stiffer suspension. It's like not as comfortable, like the best of both worlds. This one's a little bit older. It's got the buttons on it. We drove one of the newer ones, and the touch buttons, like it has like this LED panel right here. It's really cool, but immediate fingerprints everywhere. Yeah. One of my favorite things about German cars in particular, but Porsches, is the analog sort of feel. Like I already feel more connected to the road than most of my cars I'm driving right now.
It's just
we're just in a Macan. Dude, these things are sick, dude. I actually prefer the buttons versus the LED touch panel. So that was a huge reason we went with this one. I mean, it's better, it's less expensive, so that's a plus, but I really like the buttons. We can't buy them new. The Macan market, we've learned, is pretty like die hard, especially now that they're all electric. The internal combustion, especially the S and the GTS, they're hard to get now. And so being able to find this spec with the buttons and you know, no LED, still with CarPlay, so still in that realm of newer tech, but not the so new tech to where we have the buttons. It's great. It's really awesome.
Like you said, we tried a handful of different cars, Porsche and not, and then we tried different styles of the Macan, and I fell in love with this. Like the other ones, I just was like, they're nice, but I really agree. I don't like the tech. I like the classic old school feel. We just got it, please don't get me.
This is like, if I took this to a track right now, I'm sure that I'd have some understeer with but with the right tires. Like, this feels like a little bit heavier and higher center of gravity Cayman to me, but faster than the Cayman. So I had a Cayman back in the day that I, again, before it was cool. I loved the car, but honestly, it's funny. The views were so bad when I had it, because it was my main car at the time. It literally didn't make sense for me to keep it, so I had to sell it. And I was really bummed about it, because it was a manual, I had a really cool exhaust on it.
Loved it.
All that stuff. But, you know, so my heart is with Porsche. They're really cool because the Cayenne is the bigger SUV version, the heavier, more bulky, bulbous version. And they're still really cool. They're sporty, but the Macan is like a really cool in-between. It's not ugly like the Panamera, which some of the Panameras are kind of cool, but like it's just a really cool like mid-ground. And unlike the X3M or like the SQ5s, it's like, it feels intentional with its sort of grit, and they're so cool, dude. Porsche did such a fantastic job with this. What's really cool about this is, and I want to talk about the dealership here in a sec, but this is a certified car, so we have a 2-year warranty, even though it's used bumper to bumper, which is just such a sick thing. Like, Porsche is really neat. They believe in their cars so much, and they know that they're so stout that they're willing to warranty. Like, you can warranty, he was saying, back to like 2013.
2013,
which is just wild. It just, Porsches are so good. Like, I get it. You guys are probably tired of seeing them in the bandwagon, but like, there's a reason why they're popular, and not just because of, you know, broccoli-haired looking TikTok kids. Like, there's an actual reason that these cars are so awesome, and they're just
Yeah, that's way too quiet.
Just a couple things I wanted to show you. So yeah, the Mahogany Metallic is just a beautiful color. Victoria was indifferent, but I was particularly excited about this, the Euro taillights. It's an option from factory. They are expensive if you don't have them, but the Euro taillights are super sick. These things have forged wheels from factory. They're gonna get repaired by Porsche, so don't look too closely. I'm gonna get new tires as well. In order to lower these cars, which I don't know if you can see, they have little links in the suspension that you can maybe see. They're somewhere over there. They're little end links. They're like 150 bucks, and it shortens it and lets the air ride lower the car, so it's super easy to lower these cars. Staggered wheels, factory. Really odd issue. These headlights spider. Every single one of them, it's impossible. It's a Porsche thing, so we'll have to take it off, go on the inside, use our headlight repair kit on the inside of it from blacktiedetailing.com. We'll fix that. There's also just a ton of mods and a lot of things to do to these cars. A lot of cool tech. I mean, it's got full surround, like eagle eye vision for parking and stuff, so that's great for her because she loves to have that. But dude, look at the paint. It's such a beautiful color, dude. So excited to detail this thing. I'm gonna make it pretty, babe. You have no idea.
It's so unique. Like the whole, like you said, the taillights, the color of it. It's just, it's not something you see every day.
No.
And I'm so excited for that.
So sick. All right, let's get back to driving. Like, dude, this thing is... It's fast. I'm enjoying myself. It's been a long time since I've had a car that's like on the, like a streetable car. This is fast. This is pretty fast. This car is sick. Oh my God. It didn't look like we were going very fast right there, but that was probably triple the speed limit. Right? So this car is the Mahogany Metallic. We both really want to, actually, she probably more wanted something that wasn't white. You know, because when she makes Instagram reels or like promotional videos for Black Tide.
There were like 3 different things I tried to film. And my car, the Infiniti, was filthy. I mean, absolutely filthy. And no matter what angle I got, you could not tell the white was dirty.
So I'll give an example for like our product Ceramic Clean. I don't wash my truck. I only use Ceramic Clean on it. But there's no way really for you to tell that I don't scratch it because it's white and you can't tell if it's dirty anyways. And same with the QX. So I wanted something like, we've been looking for a black car or something like that's a unique color, and Porsche has probably one of the coolest color palettes out there. And I'm so excited to paint correct this. The person who owned it before us, they took really good care of it, but there's still some pretty deep scratches and swirls. I'll take it under the knife. I'm very excited to detail it, test out our product, OmniCut. If you guys want to see some stuff on that, we're working with Dodge to build 1,000-something horsepower Charger, the new 6-pack. When I took delivery of the car, it was probably one of the worst condition 7-month-old paints I've ever seen. So detailed that. If you want to see how our OmniCut works, it's incredible. It's water-based, so it's not filled with a bunch of silicons and a bunch of crap to like fill in swirls. It actually does conquer and take care of the swirls and stuff. So I could talk about my detailing stuff all day long and the car all day long, but let's do a couple more rips. I'll let Victoria drive. I promise she's going to be driving it. So this is the 4-cylinder model. I just want to show the difference. This is a newer one that I was talking about a bit ago. I don't know why automotive companies are going towards this. I guess I get it. People like this sort of like sleek design. I actually don't prefer this. Now I think it's cool because you have like a little bit of some feedback clicks whenever you touch it, but a lot of fingerprints, a lot of smudges. I'm not a huge fan of it. I like the steering wheel that's in this one, but this is the 4-cylinder. So I'll give it a little rip as I'm about to get onto the highway. But this is the other one that we looked at, and this is the newer model. So one thing about this is the shifts are really good. So like, little pops and bangs, pops and burbles. For a 4-cylinder, it's really cool, and it's like, I wasn't even on the throttle. There was no like, you know, torque being really applied there, but it's just very fast shifting. So this shifts a little bit faster than the V6, but it's gonna come down to like the rotational mass and stuff like that. But it's a cool car, but this is kind of like what we're dealing with here. And this is not a buzzkill, not a game changer killer, but it's just, I'm not in love with it.
Okay, I'm driving and it's doing exactly what we thought it would do with all of this plastic down here. Do you see that glare? That is sitting like right in my eyes. That's no fun driving with.
Call me old school, I don't know, maybe I'm just getting old now. Unk status, but I don't prefer this. This is so good, dude. It's quick, especially for a heavier car, and with a tune, 100-something more horsepower.
Yeah.
I didn't really like how the base was. It's still a beautiful car. The only thing I really thought was cool about the base turbo, the 4-cylinder, is the shifting. The PDK system almost seemed better. And I don't know if it's because the 4-cylinder is just so rev happy, and like the flywheel might be lighter on it, but it was like boom, boom, boom. It's like driving a race car. This one's a little bit less light, and it could be the tune that's on it, and that's usually part of it. But dude, Porsches are cool. I don't care what you think. I don't care if you're tired of seeing them. They're such driver-oriented cars, unlike some other brands out there. It's like a game developer play tests their cars. That's what Porsche feels like. This is kind of a gem because this may be one of the last generations of non-911. Like, they don't even have a Boxster or a Cayman or anything like that in the lineup coming soon. So not that anything, not a drag against Porsche. There's a lot of stuff going on with the EPA and international laws, but it's like, this is kind of a hidden gem that's going to also, I think, going to be really heavily valued as time goes on because of just what it is and the fact that it's an internal combustion engine. It's really powerful. It's twin turbo V6. It makes all the right noises. It's not electric. There's no 48-volt battery that's assisting it and stuff like that. Like, I'm talking a lot, I know, but this is all crucial information, I promise. What kind of led us to this was we were looking at wagons. If you guys know, I love wagons. I've owned a wagon variant of every type of car I think I've ever owned. We looked at the E450 and the E400 AMGs. That car was really cool, really fast, but you know, they have problems of their own. We looked at the Volvo V60s. Those cars look cool, and I really thought it was going to be cool, but that might have been one of the most lifeless cars I've ever driven in my life. It was really, really, it was bad. And I love Volvo, and it wasn't a Polestar, so I'm not hating on it, but it was just really bland. It felt like I was drinking water with less flavor in it. I don't know. It was odd. We're like, let's just go try again. And then you found the Macan.
I pitched it, and I totally thought you'd be like, nah.
Yeah, because with a Porsche, I'm going to be like, nah.
Well, and I mean, it happened. We just found such a steal of a deal, and like you said, certified and all that kind of stuff, that it worked out.
And it had basically just gotten traded in, so it was like,
they had it for 3 days or less.
It was awesome. What I want to say, this is the last thing I'll say in the car, is Austin. He was our salesman at Porsche Grapevine. I'll say this because I've worked in sales. Like, there was a couple cars that we probably could have bought, we should have bought, but didn't like the salesman. I 100%, like, I'm the type of person that I will buy a car, even if it's more expensive, because of the salesman. And Austin Parkey at this Porsche dealership, he was amazing. Like, he was personable in the test drive. He was actually talking back and forth with some banter. He's an Evo guy, and we ended up just like, you know, having this really cool conversation. He was also super upfront. He was super personable. That was really cool for me. This is a shameless plug, by the way. Like, there's no affiliation with us in the dealership, but Austin was awesome. And I'm just saying, if you guys work in sales, stop being a salesy person. Like, be honest and be personable, because I promise you, you will get more sales, and if anything, you will get clients for a longer time. And I told Austin, I was like, if and when I'm able to finally buy the GT3 RS that I've been dreaming of since I was a child, I'm coming back to you, and you're gonna get the commission for that because you've been awesome. So just be better, just be a cool dude, because that's what matters. So we've got to drop this car back off. It's so new, it's not certified yet. So they've got to go back through, they got to fix the wheels. This car comes with forged wheels from factory, which is really cool. Like, forged wheels, they're gonna do new brakes, new tires, and some other stuff here and there. I think general maintenance, trans flush, and that kind of stuff. Stuff that I don't have to do, which is fantastic. Even though I can do it, don't want to. You guys probably know the feel. And then once we pick it up, we'll surprise the girls. The girls have no idea because they've been at her parents' the whole week. We were like, you know what? Best time in the world to shop for a car is when we don't have screamers in the back, poopers in the back. And I think it would be really cool because Gabriella literally said the other day, Mommy should get a Porsche. I'm not making this up.
I'm not, yeah. It was like a month ago and she's like, Mommy, that's a really cool car. What is that? I was like, oh, that's a Porsche. She goes, oh, I like Porsche. And so then she kept pointing out Porsches. And then we go and see Evan and she goes, Daddy, Mommy needs a Porsche. And this is a month ago. And then the other day, like 2 or 3 days ago, she was looking through our Porsche book all by herself. And I was like, what are you reading? She goes, oh, the Porsche book.
This is a Porsche book.
Are you sure? Is this whole thing a Porsche book?
All of this whole book is a Porsche book. This is a really big book, Mama.
Our 5-year-old's hilarious. She's great. Our kids are gonna love it. You're gonna flip. They love cars maybe more than we do at this point. What's crazy is I never would have considered this a family decision, but this is just as involving for the
Gabby,
kids
I blame you.
as it is for us, and it's so cool. And maybe some life advice in this is like, I wanna say Victoria was not a car person by nature, and I didn't force her into it. You know, I think the important thing is you'll sleep in the bed that you make. The most important thing for marriage and for family is I love them first. They always come first. With that, when you're a servant to your family, when you're a servant to your wife, especially as Jesus was to his disciples and to people, when you're a servant to them, they will see the passions that you have and they will feel as if it's the same for them, and they'll get a similar or same joy out of it as you do. They saw the joy that we all had through it, and they saw that they were still more important at the end of each day. And I think that is what helps grow a family that's directional and intentional. And so if there's advice I can give you is, yes, you will absolutely sleep in the bed that you make. It's time, it's effort, it's work, it's hard days, it's hard years, it's hard conversations. You know, it's selfless actions to cater to your family, which is more important, which is something money can't buy, in order to have that goal and sense of fulfilling desire, whatever, all sort of be a collective thing down the road. All right, we're gonna get the QX unloaded. Always have the first aid. We've got a loaner. This car has been so good, but you know, like the stitching just didn't cut it. It didn't say Porsche. What do you know? We'll pick up our car after it's certified and bring her home. For the last time, it is goodbye QX. You've been good to us. I want to say one last goodbye. Goodbye QX, we love you.
But I like Porsche more.
Not as much as Porsche though. This is sick. Wish we had more for you today, but we've got to drop it back off. And it is our anniversary, so
we're gonna
go make out in public. And we're gonna go to dinner and celebrate, but just wanted to share with you guys. All right, love you guys. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'm so excited. Family's gonna see it. I'm gonna detail it. We've got some mods already on the way, so.
That's true. We've already ordered stuff.
Let's go, boys. Love you all. See you soon.